Hi everyone, I'm Maria Lewis. Welcome to Firstline Checks In. In this series, we at Firstline Securities Limited touch base with some of our clients to see how they're coping and hopefully thriving during this present lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, I'll be chatting with Dr. Bruce McIntosh. He's one of our investment clients. So without further ado, I'm going to give him a call.
Yeah.
Dr. McIntosh, hello. Just tell us briefly about what you do for a living.
Okay, I am a medical doctor specializing in anesthesia.
Right.
I'm not a full-time employee. I work part-time.
Right.
So I only get paid when I work.
Right.
I tend to do elective cases rather than emergency cases.
Okay.
And the elective cases are on hold now.
Okay. All right. And how has the COVID-19 lockdown affected you?
All right. I'll deal professionally first. As I intimated earlier on,
Right.
that elective cases are off for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One, I would hate to know that I got the virus somehow and gave it to a patient, because as an anesthetist, we get very close to the patient
Right.
during certain procedures.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, I wouldn't like a patient to give it to me.
Understood.
And I don't know, I get it and then I transfer it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, a lot of the patients that some of the patients I do, particularly the eyes patients,
Right.
they tend to be hypertensive, diabetic, all kind of medical problems.
Okay.
So they're particularly high risk. Socially, it really hasn't affected me much because like when my children come, I usually give them one car, and when my wife was working, she would take the car, and I would be at home for a week, and it wouldn't
No,
worry
no
me.
change. Yeah.
So I don't like the word confined because I don't feel confined.
Okay. Good.
Um,
Good.
I could go for 10 days, 2 weeks without leaving home, and it doesn't affect me adversely.
Very good. Very good. So as a doctor in particular, do you have any helpful coping mechanisms that you like to share with the viewers?
No, I think the coping mechanisms are out there already.
Right.
Distancing, masks, washing hands, minimize exposure. Only go out when it's absolutely necessary.
Yes.
You don't do certainly things like visiting friends or friends visiting you,
Right.
or not to play a role in our lives at the moment. We have to
Understood.
become antisocial to keep social distancing.
Yes, it's true. And what positive outcomes do you foresee coming out of this entire situation? So when the lockdown is lifted, what positive things, even now, do you see coming out of COVID-19's lockdown?
I'll deal with it in this way.
Okay.
In this scenario, there are two players,
Uh-huh.
the government and the people.
Right.
And if both do things well,
Yes.
things work out well. If
Okay.
either party or both parties do things badly, things don't work out well. And
Okay.
I'll just digress a bit. We have the big five: USA, Italy, Spain, France, and United Kingdom.
Right.
These are countries where they acted slowly, they trivialized it, and the population didn't adhere to different things. And so those five countries have formed over 70% of the mortality, the Earth world mortality.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, so we should learn lessons of what to do. But human beings, their memory span is short, and the next pandemic may not be in my lifetime, may not be in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So any lessons learned here are often negated, because if you go back in the pandemics, when they had a plague in the 1700s or when they had the Spanish flu, a lot of mortality was brought about by people
Yes.
congregating, and especially people going to church,
Mm-hmm.
and the church leaders misleading people, saying that they could protect them, and so I think that's one of the lessons to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because in South Korea, there's a patient 31, Chinese lady who came into the country, infected, went to 2 church meetings and to a buffet. And with their tracking system, she infected over 5,000 people because an exponential thing.
Yes.
I infect 3 people, goes to 9, and in no time it mushrooms.
Yes.
So I feel a lot of the lessons learned, but it shows it can be done. It shows it can be done, and that has made a big difference even in the United States. That it has cut it a bit, but they are still out of control. And
Yes. What sort of advice would you give to people during this time and for the next few weeks and months?
Well, I think it's important you follow the guidelines. I think our government and Ministry of Health have done exceptionally well.
Right.
And it's to follow their guidelines. And if they tell us we have to be locked down for another month again, we adhere to that.
We adhere to that,
And
yeah.
I suppose people have different living circumstances. Where I am, I have a beautiful view of the mountains. My place is bright and airy, spacious. And so I am not confined. And people live in a world of instant gratification, and they want results. And the other thing is that people want to hook on to quick cures, and there's no quick cure in this thing at the moment.
Understood,
and people will come impatient, and I think one of the questions you would ask, well, what will I do if they lift it on April the 30th? And Maria, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't leave the house unless I need to, because people will let things get out of control, and then we get a second wave. Jamaica was doing pretty well, but yesterday they got about 13 or 15 cases, and we may soon reach that stage. But the other thing that has struck me, we should not allow people into our country from United States, from virtually any country, until things have settled down a lot more.
Agreed, yeah.
And if it takes 3 months, it takes 3 months. And the Prime Minister of New Zealand, I think she has shut it down till August or September. They've shut down their borders.
Yeah.
And that we are fortunate that we are an island. But again, we are a little unfortunate. We're too close to Venezuela, and there can be traffic going backwards and forwards there, which can compromise our system.
Understood. Well, Dr. McIntosh, but if there's anything else you'd like to share with us, is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap this up?
No, I think, people, Maria, I have never been bored in my life.
Very good.
Never, ever been bored. I am good. I was a hard worker. I played sports hard, and I could do nothing hard. I'm good at doing nothing. And people have to be content with who they are.
Yes.
You can always find something to do. Read a book, look up music, exercise. I exercise about 10 strenuous hours a week.
Very good.
And that takes time. So my days go very quickly.
Yeah. Fill your days. Yeah. Very good. So, Dr. McIntosh, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of all of us at Firstline for taking the time to talk to us today and for doing this interview. We really, really appreciate it. And I want to wish you and your family, the best of health and safety during this period. You all keep safe, and I know you all will. So keep safe, keep healthy, and always, and I know you will remain positive during all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the best to you and your family as well, Maria.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. So that's it from us for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Firstline Checks In. From all of us at Firstline Securities Limited, we'd like to take this opportunity to wish you and your family the very, very best during this lockdown period. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive. Until next time, I'm Maria Lewis. Take care.